Although his name may not shine as brightly as his younger brothers, Malcolm Young is an irreplaceable figure in the history of AC/DC's music. In the world of rock and roll, rhythm guitarists often don't receive the same praise as their counterparts who play lead guitar. However, Malcolm's presence in AC/DC proves that this role is equally important. Without a solid rhythm, a rock song will not have the same power. Angus may be the face of AC/DC, but Malcolm is its backbone. Examples from other bands, such as Guns N' Roses with Izzy Stradlin and Aerosmith with Brad Whitford, also demonstrate similar dynamics. Although often overshadowed by brighter spotlights, their role in creating the sound and identity of the band cannot be underestimated. Malcolm was born on January 6, 1953, in Glasgow, Scotland, United Kingdom, to William and Margaret Young. His father worked as an aircraft mechanic in the Royal Air Force during World War II, but after the war, he often changed jobs, including spray painter, machine operator, printer, and postal worker. In 1963, Britain experienced one of its coldest weathers ever recorded, known as the Big Freeze. Coincidentally, during that time, there was a television advertisement offering a new life in Australia. Malcolm's father, upon seeing this advertisement, then signed up for migration to Australia. There is a stark difference in how Malcolm and Angus appeared socially before and after AC/DC. Before this rock band was formed, Angus was considered a passing breeze, especially by Malcolm's friends. However, Angus did have a strong mentality and was not hesitant to socialize with older people. During their teenage years, George, Malcolm, Angus and Harry Vanda formed a band called the Marcus Hook Roll Band. This marked the professional debut for Malcolm and Angus when they released the album Tales of Old Grandaddy in 1973. However, the band later disbanded, and Malcolm and Angus decided to form a new band. While playing music, they juggled with regular jobs. Angus worked as a janitor and a semi-pornographic magazine printer, while Malcolm worked as a sewing machine technician in a factory. In 1974, Malcolm and Angus left their project with George to form AC/DC. It was Malcolm who came up with the idea to add another guitar. The goal was to make their music feel thicker, rather than using keyboards. The choice was clear for Angus, and for the younger brother, the choice wasn't difficult. Rather than continuing to work as a janitor, becoming a rock and roll musician was clearly more enjoyable. The band was named AC/DC because the founding members, Malcolm and Angus Young, saw the words AC/DC on the back of a washing machine. This was chosen because they believed it reflected the energetic and straightforward style of their music. Additionally, this abbreviation is also slang for alternating current, which they deemed suitable for the energy they wanted to convey in their music. Angus then developed into an iconic guitarist in the world of rock and roll, both in terms of his playing and his character. He is known for his unique schoolboy uniform. In this regard, he once lacked confidence because his costume was constantly ridiculed by the audience. With his small stature, Angus indeed looked like a schoolboy lost on stage. Something that later gave him the encouragement to remain confident was none other than Malcolm. The death of vocalist Bon Scott in 1980, shortly after the release of the album Highway to Hell, cast doubt on the future of AC/DC for many. Losing a charismatic frontman like Bon often deals a severe blow to a band, and some never fully recover from such a loss. However, they managed to rise again, thereby proving that the driving force behind the band was indeed the Young Brothers duo. Brian Johnson was recruited to replace Bon, and they released Back in Black in 1980. This monumental album, recorded in just 7 weeks, became the band's most successful achievement. It is often hailed as AC/DC's best album and the second best-selling album of all time, having sold over 50 million copies to date. The song Back in Black underscores Malcolm's role as the mastermind behind powerful and memorable riffs. Its intro is even regarded as one of the best. Additionally, there are many other riffs created by Malcolm that deserve appreciation, such as in the song Let There Be Rock, which features a very strong guitar sound, and Thunderstruck, which demonstrates Malcolm's crucial role in providing the foundation for Angus's guitar. Malcolm's presence proves that Angus's guitar playing would feel empty without Malcolm's rhythmic foundation. Malcolm rarely missed AC/DC concerts and tours, even when he reached 60 years old. However, his health condition was not optimal. In an interview, Angus mentioned that Malcolm had been losing concentration since working on the Black Ice album. Yet, he still joined the Black Ice tour, which ended in 2010. Since then, he received treatment and regularly practiced songs before performances to remember how to play them. In an interview with Guitar Player, Angus said that his brother would keep playing until he couldn't anymore. The time finally came in April 2014. Malcolm took a break from the band's tour, and in September 2014, it was confirmed that the band's founder would not rejoin due to health reasons. The Sydney Morning Herald newspaper then wrote that Malcolm was suspected to be suffering from dementia and was being cared for in a health facility in Sydney. A few days later, the Young family confirmed that Malcolm indeed had dementia. But Malcolm couldn't endure without music. His family made sure there was always music playing beside him, whether it was Chuck Berry or Buddy Holly. Malcolm battled dementia for quite some time, until he eventually passed away on November 18, 2017, following his brother George's death on October 22nd. Malcolm's death left many people in mourning. Although he may have been less famous than his brother, his influence cannot be overlooked. Malcolm left behind an invaluable legacy named AC/DC. His guitar playing will always be remembered. His compositions continue to be sung by younger generations. Bands like Guns N' Roses and Foo Fighters dedicate stages to Malcolm. As the backbone of AC/DC, Malcolm has been the architect behind the riffs that built the band's strong identity. By faithfully holding the rhythm guitar role, he provided a solid foundation for the entire band. Malcolm's calm yet strong presence has inspired the next generation of musicians. He proved that in every band, every role has its importance, and without one element, the entire work will not be perfect. As for his younger brother, Angus Young, considered one of the most explosive guitarists, he will always remember the advice of his older brother.